Hey guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at the Matador NanoDry Shower Towel, which is a full-size travel towel that packs down into this small size that you see here. And so I've been really excited to check out Matador gear for a while, as they've kind of become the standard for packable travel and adventure gear. And so I was really excited when the company reached out to see if I wanted to check out a few of their items. So I've been using the NanoDry Shower Towel for about a month, and so far I've been really impressed with how well it works considering how small and thin it is. So just really impressive overall. I love the design and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So I want to go ahead and thank the company for sending the item for me to test out, and let's just jump in and take a closer look at the NanoDry Shower Towel from Matador. And so jumping in, I currently have the towel packed into its included silicone case, just so you get a feel for how it packs down. And I really like the design of the case. It's very compact. I also like the use of the silicone to provide a little bit of elasticity, which helps make it easy to get the towel in and out of the case. The case also has some nice ventilation here. If you toss the towel in while it's still a little bit wet, it's going to be able to continue to dry. Included with the case is this small metallic carabiner that you can use to attach it to the side of a bag if you don't want to pack it inside. So just a really great design and size overall that has made it really easy to travel with. The towel is actually offered in two sizes. This is the larger shower towel, but there's also a smaller version that clips onto a keychain that can be used as a hand towel. And so while the towel is packed up, I did want to do a few size comparison with some items that I would typically travel with. So here, the first thing that I have is a pair of socks that you'll typically find in one of my packing cubes. So you can see that it's about the same size. It's a little bit thicker than the socks, but as far as the length, it's shocking just how small the case actually gets. And then I figured I'd also do a few comparisons with actual towels. So here on the left, I have a towel that I actually had to purchase during one of our trips because I forgot to take one and the hotel did not provide them. And so I was able to use this for the trip. It works pretty well. It's not a very fancy towel. As you can see, it's kind of coming apart. But as you can see, it's very bulky. So I was traveling with one bag at the time and it got very tricky to kind of fit this in. So it would have been nice to have something like the Matador towel here. And so at its smallest size, you can see there's a substantial difference in how these are packed out. Sure, I could flatten this out to make it a little bit easier to pack in my travel bag. But overall, this is definitely going to be a much more convenient form factor than a larger towel such as this if you're trying to travel minimally. The other towel that I have here is a microfiber towel, which is actually a smaller size. This is just a hand towel, but as you can see, even when I fold this up, even though this is microfiber, it's still not as thin as the material that we'll take a look at in a bit with the nanofiber. And so when I fold this up, it's gonna be about the same size, but it's a much smaller towel. So I would be able to fit this in this case, but this is definitely not gonna be a towel that I'm gonna be able to use to shower or to take to the beach or something like that. And so one thing that worried me at first when I saw this was how annoying it would be to get the towel in and out of the case. That's been one of my issues with packable gear in the past, is that sometimes it can take a lot of effort to get it in and out. But I was pleasantly surprised with how easy this was to manage. And so I'll go ahead and pull the towel out now. And as you can see, it just comes out very easily. And unfolding it, you can get a feel for the size. So it's a really nicely sized towel. When the towel is expanded out, it's about 47 inches by 24 inches, which is a pretty nice size. I'm 5'11" and I weigh about 200 pounds, so I'm definitely not a small guy, and this works pretty well for me. It doesn't always cover me when I wrap it around my waist, but for the most part, I've been able to either dry myself after showering or going to the pool very comfortably. I'm also able to cover my shoulders. So just a really nice size, especially considering how small it actually packs down. And then on top of that, the towel weighs just 5 ounces. So it's really, really light. When you pack this in your bag, you don't feel it at all. And so it's just super thin. When I first started using it, I was kind of surprised at how thin it was. It feels like the little cloth that you would use to wipe down your sunglasses. So very delicate. The nanofiber material has worked very, very well. Here we have the microfiber again. Just want to hold them up next to each other. You can see there's a substantial difference in thickness, but I've noticed that you don't actually sacrifice anything in the ability to dry. The towel absorbs water very, very well. According to Matador's site, the nanofiber material is going to be 2.3 times lighter than microfiber, and it also absorbs 2.3 times its own weight in water. So I was a little bit skeptical when I first started using the material that this would actually be able to properly dry me up, but I was very surprised. It worked very, very well. On top of that, the thin material also makes for very quick drying, especially if you leave this out in the sun, it'll dry up in no time. A nice bonus with the towel is that it does have an antimicrobial lining to help prevent mildew from building up. And so the color for the towel that you currently see here is a nice gray, but it's also offered in a yellow and a red and a couple of different colors. Here on the corner, you can also see the Matador logo. So just a very simple, clean design. At the top, you have this little loop making it very easy to hang the towel up. And this has been one of my favorite features, and I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen this on more towels. It's been very convenient to use. And then another thing that I really like is that the towel is machine washable. You have some instructions on the tag here so that you know how to take care of it. And so the last thing I'll showcase here is just how to pack the towel up. This was one of my bigger concerns when I first started testing testing it out, but luckily it's not a complicated process. You just kind of fold the towel multiple times onto itself, and due to the thinness and flexibility of the material, there's really a lot of margin for error, so you don't have to be an expert folder. I definitely am not. But so just folding it in half once, then you can fold it again. I just keep folding it in half into itself until it's a pretty thin size, and then I just fold it in half vertically as well and continue to fold it over until it reaches a size that I can no longer go any further. As you can see, I'm not being very precise with any of this. It's not like I have to restart if I don't get it exactly right the first time. And now that it's at a kind of small bunch, I can just toss it in there pretty simply. And because of the silicone, as I mentioned earlier, it just kind of wraps around. And so even though that doesn't necessarily look as nice as it did when I first got it, it fits in there comfortably and I can just throw it in very quickly. On Matador's site, there's actually some really helpful videos walking through the details of how to fold and pack the towel. And one of the really nice things is they showcases you don't actually have to fold it at all. You can just bunch it up and toss it in if you don't care about it looking neat. I like to fold it up just so that it doesn't crease or wrinkle. But if you're in a rush and the towel's wet, you can just toss it in and then take it out when you get home. So really great job of just making it a very simple process and a very useful accessory overall. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Matador NanoDry Shower Towel over the past month. The towel's compact size and impressive performance have quickly made this one of my favorite new travel accessories. And so you can purchase this on Matador's site for about $35, which I think is a pretty reasonable price considering I haven't really seen anything quite like this in the past. And so you can find other travel towels that are made out of microfiber on Amazon for $10 to $20. I haven't had a chance to test those out, but they've never really convinced me as far as their performance and their packability for one bag travel. Given the weight, the materials, and the design of the Matador towel, I do think it is worth paying that little bit extra just to get the additional features. And so if you guys like packable items like this and you're looking for other great things to kind of round out your minimal travel kit, I definitely recommend checking out the video that we did for the Tortuga Outbreaker Day Pack, which has been one of my favorite packable daily bags that you can pair with a larger travel bag. On the channel, we've also featured another great packable bag, which is the Air Go Pack, which also packs down really well. We've done in-depth videos for both of those. And then speaking of packable day bags, we will actually be taking a look at Matador's Free Reign 24 in a couple of weeks, so make sure to keep an eye out for that if you're looking for other really small packable gear that you're going to be able to fit into a larger travel bag. In addition to the packable day bags, we've also taken a look at items like the Amazon Essentials puffer jacket, which packs down into a pretty small size if you need a versatile jacket for your travels. And we're always on the lookout for new gear that's going to help you pack less and travel more efficiently, so if you guys have any suggestions for cool packable gear that we should check out, please let me know in the comments. And I am curious to hear, do you typically travel with a towel? Does it take up too much space? What are the pros and cons that you've noticed as you've been traveling? Typically I use the towels that have been offered in hotels, but that's not always available. And sometimes it's just nice to know that you're gonna have something simple, especially if you're going camping or just to the beach. This is also gonna be a really versatile option, not just for travel. So definitely just a great accessory to have on hand. And so I wanna go ahead and thank the company again for sending the NanoDry towel for me to check out. And if you guys found this video useful, please go ahead and give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.